Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please take this time to silence all cell phones. Photographs are permitted, but please stay in your seats. Our ceremony will begin shortly. As we all do our part to keep each other safe, we kindly remind you to maintain safe spacing and continue to wear your mask. I am Lieutenant Colonel Matt Harris, your narrator for today's ceremony. We are here to pay tribute to Lieutenant Colonel Victor Osweiler and his first wife and favorite dependent, Miss Katie Osweiler, on this occasion of his retirement after 22 years of dedicated service to his country and the United States Air Force. For those with us in person, throughout the ceremony, we will be given cues to stand at the appropriate times. As a reminder, during the singing of our national anthem, military members in uniform should stand at attention. Military members in civilian clothes and civilians should place their right hands over their hearts. Officiating today's ceremony is Colonel James P. Whitaker. A very special welcome to all family and friends who are joining Victor and Katie virtually on this very special day. He especially welcomes his brother Justin, Sister Nikki, Aunt Sherry, and Uncle Gary, and Katie's parents, Carol and Carl, and Harry and Mark. Also, a warm welcome to the friends, co-workers, and allies that are in attendance today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, the playing of the national anthem, and the invocation. Hey, please come forward and provide the invocation.
I invite you to pray with me. Lord God, God Creator, God Redeemer, you have brought us this far. We thank you for so many blessings, so many joys, and even so many sorrows. We ask your blessing today on Victor as he retires from his service in the United States Air Force. We thank you for his dedication to his country, a love for his family and friends, and the support they have provided him over the years. We thank you, God, for being steady and for being true. God bless us all today as we move forward in an uncertain time. We pray all of these things together. Amen.
Thank you, Katie. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It's my pleasure to introduce Colonel James T. Wagner.
Thanks. Can everyone hear me? Awesome. What a great day, huh? Get to celebrate 22 years of a wonderful career. Get a chance to gather a group of more than two. Just going to say thanks to a lot of people who made this possible for Victor and family and friends. So first off, thanks for everybody who made this happen. Katie, for the time of working with this. Not only today, but for done for a number of years as well. Matt, Amy, thank you. This is great. Jack, and everybody else, Pastor Sonny. You guys are great getting this all set up. I feel quite honored to have the opportunity to stand here. Bonsoir et bienvenue à mes militaires. I'll keep doing that, but that's the end of my French, so I can say all the words, but they won't be. Hey, Sherry, Uncle Gary, thanks for being here. Where do I look to? They see me better like this direction?
Yeah, no,
All right, awesome. We're sad you can't join us, but we're happy that you can see us on the YouTube. Katie's parents, Carol, Carl, Harry, and Martha, that I've been told that Boomer. So thank you for your 20 plus years of service. For those of you that don't know, Katie's dad, Boomer, also retired. So we're honored to have his presence today. And finally, well, not finally, we got a couple more folks to go through. Victor has had a really close group of friends out in Bozeman. So the Bozeman guys, welcome to Belgium, albeit virtually. And then finally, Victor has two siblings. One is brother Justin, and Victor wanted me to pass on his thanks for creating the humble and intelligent man. And he appreciated the fact that we held him down and forced him to hit himself with his own hands for many years growing up. He felt that made a big impression and has led to the man that he was. A similar thanks goes out to his sister Nikki, who imparted the necessity of grooming under Victor, by sitting under him and combing his hair before he went to school. Over the past few years, that hasn't become those grooming skills are not quite as important. That is for Victor and for me. But nonetheless, that lesson was learned, and we're sad that he can't join us. I know Victor and Nikki and Justin are very close, and they would love to be here with us. Okay, so I won't spend too much time talking today. The day is about Victor, the day is about Katie, the day is about the people that helped Victor reach the end of this 22-year marathon. But I do want to spend a few minutes kind of going through some of the events of Victor's career, some of the things that he's done, that he's been a part of, to just add a little bit of gravity to those 22 years, a little bit of we all have seen pieces of it. And as I sat down and talked with them the other night, they invited us to tacos. 22 years is a long time, and a lot happens. Victor's been part of some really cool things. So, many people understand what he's done for 3 or 4 years here, 3 or 4 years there. But I think as we put that all together, you'll gain a better appreciation for Victor and the family that's helped him get to this point. So let's start back in the Montana days. Montana State University, black and blue and gold Bobcats, right? Bozeman, Montana, cows, moose, things like that, wander all over. He had a good friend that he went to college there named Steve Blissful, and he'll join us later in the ceremony. And the story is true. We know this day. We know this day to Steve. And I say that with all seriousness. I've been with Victor for a number of years. But the rumor goes that every was it Thursday morning in leadership class? Every Thursday morning we had a leadership class in college. I went to a different school, but we had the same thing. Where you usually started early in the morning and you got up and marched and did your military things. And Steve, in his infinite wisdom, knowing how successful Victor would be in the military, if only he could get through those 4 years of college, Steve would punch him in the shoulder, drag him out of bed, probably help him shave his face, and drag him off to the military training. So, thank you, Steve. We owe you a debt of gratitude. From that, after he graduated from Montana, the Air Force sent him down to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Desert area, beautiful spot, mountains on the edge of town. And Victor joined the Air Force Research Lab, which is my first time in Victor as well. He was part of a directorate called the Space Vehicles Directorate, which researched a bunch of new technologies and developed satellites and space systems to help push the envelope of the United States and allies. So during that time, he worked on some systems with multispectral imaging capabilities. What that means is that these imagers could not only see the colors that we see, but they could also see heat and maybe some other bands as well. So, he did some of the research and the development efforts, and then he led the operational team that was getting those images from space, bringing them down, assessing the performance of the cameras, and getting that data out to people. Did a great job there. We had a lot of fun exploring Albuquerque and learning what it was like to be a lieutenant in the U.S. Air Force. From there, up to the Space Battle Lab in Colorado. And this is a place where they try to take commercial technologies and utilize them for military ends. So Victor worked on electro-optical initiative research. And did that for a couple of years. He said, hey, this is great, and I'm doing wonderful things, but I need to get a little bit smarter. I need a little bit more technical knowledge on how these systems work. So from there, he applied to the Air Force Institute of Technology in Dayton, Ohio, and was awarded after a year and a half of effort, was awarded a Master's of Science in Space Systems. That's where Victor and I hooked up again. Spent a lot of time studying, a lot of time writing, a lot of time doing calculus that we've long since forgotten. And it was great. It was hard. We expected it to be a little easier than I think it turned out to be, but it was worthwhile. As most things that are hard, they turn out to be worthwhile. So there are 3 big developments for Victor there in Dayton, Ohio. And I'll walk through them kind of in the order of importance. The first one was the acquisition of the famous Osweiler desk. Certainly, if you all know the Osweiler desk, you don't. It's sad that this hasn't transcended the years, but the Osweiler desk is a gigantic piece of furniture. it would probably take up about half of this section right here. And it takes no less than 4 weekends to put together if you're going to get all the components in the right spot and make sure it's sturdy enough to finish up your home. You're familiar, everybody now is familiar with Mark Twain. So Mark Twain said, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. As I walk through these stories, please keep that quote in mind. So this desk been a part of Victor and Katie's life for as long as they've been together. Unfortunately, it's got some bumps and bruises along the way, but it's still functional. So often I call Vic and I say, hey, do you want to go rock climbing? Say, hey, James, I'd love to, but we're on the desk. Put the desk together. Yeah, put the desk together. So, this went on for a while. And it was rock climbing. I think it was more pleasant when it came to maybe studying or writing theses or things like that. But eventually we got to it. So the desk, number one. Let's see, the second thing was the Master of Science. Big deal. We wrote a thesis there titled Covariance Estimation and Autocorrelation of NORAD two-line element sets. You guys are bad. You see it right on the top of the Amazon stuff. What that means, I'll try to do it justice, but I do it a little. The world uses sensors all around the world to locate space objects. Those objects have vectors and they continue to go around the NORAD characterizes those vectors with what's called a two-line element set. So we know where those space objects are and where they're going. Well, over time, the Earth's gravity, the sun's gravity, drag, aerodynamic drag, all affect that orbit. And so over time, the certainty of where those objects are gets harder to pick. And so Victor worked on some equations that would help decrease that covariance, which is another word for uncertainty, so that we could understand where those objects were. So good stuff. Now, the third main event from Dayton, Ohio, was something really important. Kind of a coming of age event in his life. So, he learned how to be a little bit more caring. He became responsible for more than just his own actions. He realized that his actions affected more people than just his own. And that's when he learned how to babysit. Victor was the first babysitter for my oldest son, and he was spectacular. And then, lo and behold, after he learned how to take care of others and how to be a wonderful human being, so happened Katie showed up in his life, and through a long distance relationship, a short time in person, a long distance relationship, they decided this was the right. They were meant to be together. And if you've ever sat at dinner, you know this to be true. Right? It's like having a custom. They play off each other. You guys are missing this. You're sitting up here, you can see the looks back and forth. You can see the little winks. And it's just perfect, right? They're meant to be together. And Kate's been a huge part of his life ever since. And it's been up for all the adventures that came after that Dayton time period. From Dayton, we went to Colorado. We went to New Mexico again, where he was the chief of Air Launch Target Flight, of the Air Launch Target Flight. In Albuquerque, this is the time where we were working a lot of distance events. We're still doing that. Some of the early stages there, and Victor's job was to create targets for the missile defense system to shoot out of the air. So one of the big projects we worked on was we took a motor out of the back of a Minuteman II missile. Top the motor out, motor's still good, added a whole new front end to simulate what an incoming missile might look like. And then we loaded it on the back of the C-17. Victor rode that C-17. And the plan was to drop it out of the C-17 and have one of our missile defense systems shoot it down if it was coming in on the appropriate trajectory and might see coming in. That was out in Hawaii, so rough duty. So Victor kicked that missile out of the back. Unfortunately, it didn't work quite right, but they learned a lot from how that played out. I kicked it too hard. Kicked it a little too hard. The rest of you might have to be familiar with it. Hercules, sir. So, you know, great story, great, not an success, but a lot of success along the way. That then led him to a job over in the UK. You know, life has a way of throwing curveballs at you, and has a way of, you know, luck. You get luckier the harder you work. So Victor was working hard on it, and his chain of commanders said, yeah, we'll give you this opportunity to go over there. And with a little bit of luck, it's an engineering scientist exchange program. But interestingly enough, Victor is not an engineer, nor a scientist. So he happened to be sitting in a billet that said he was an engineer. And so they said, okay, you're sitting in a billet, you can go. So talked to Katie, and they said, yes, let's head out there. Let's take this adventure. Let's see what the other side looks like. And that was the first of their overseas assignments. When I talked to Victor about assignments, that was one of the best ones. He had a lot of opportunities to make a difference. Did a lot of simulation, warfighting simulations with the U.S. as well. So he was kind of right at the tip of that spear as the UK and the U.S. were working together on the simulators. Alas, that also got to end. They, of course, called him back to Boston, Massachusetts, Hanscom Air Force Base, where he started working a number of different sciences. And this is a spot where, you know, Victor was a field grade officer, so at this point he was a major. And he started to come into his own as Air Force career started to blossom. He would get a pretty high level certification. 4 of 37 officers, 2 of 37 officers. He got a chance to deploy to Afghanistan, where his seniors said, spectacular, number 1 and 4, all out to joint officers. Working to counter improvised explosive device mission, which unfortunately had cost the life of a number of allies and partners, cost the lives of a number of allies and partners in there. So when Victor's helped that, we got better at better at saving lives. Tough job, long hours. The Victor succeeded, and then headed back to Hanscom, just in time to get another opportunity to go overseas. He had applied to be the defense attaché, but a little secret, he didn't join the So yeah, that's another adventure, right? He used to grow up like being one of the UK, drinking pints at the local pub. And well, it turns out the UK and Nigeria are not very similar. But nonetheless, it's a spectacular place to learn about other people's culture, to get a better feel for diversity and a better appreciation of how different parts of the world interact. This was a hard job. This was there's a lot going on in here. And Victor was a senior military officer, so he was the SBO, the DAT, and in charge of ODC, defense coordination. So what that means is everything that the U.S. does in Nigeria has any touch point in the military. Victor and his staff was there. Anytime anybody of any importance or outpoint comes to Nigeria, Victor was in charge of escorting them, getting to the right spot, coordinating their visit with all the dignitaries in Nigeria. And so, long hours, folks would come visit him there. And say, hey, you're doing great, but why isn't this in post-secondary? Why isn't this a colonel? He was an 05 at the time. And, he was burning the candle at both ends, but doing spectacular work. And we look at his OPRs, his officer performance reports from that time. You'll see an Army 4-star general saying, you're doing spectacular. You're one of of 4 people in, one of 7 people in Africa. My dad's in Africa. So yeah, the gravity of that job weighed on Victor, and he performed that to the appropriate. That's cool. That's important and that's necessary for all of our partners. And it wore out, right? 2 years doing that, working hard. 3 out of 32 dots in all Africa, 4 out of 35 the next year. Those are pretty serious IL strategies. From there, they called me back to the U.S. Said, hey, you've done great work here. It's time to move on to something else. And he joined the Defense Science Board, which is the Defense Science Board is a lot of smart people from the U.S. and other countries come together trying to solve pressing defense problems. Now, the Defense Science Board goes through ways and waxes, kind of goes by. Different people in the Defense Department decide it's useful, and then they decide it's not so useful. Well, before Victor got there, they were doing about 2 studies a year. And by the time he left, they were up to about 14 studies a year. So these are folks like the CEO of Google, kind of the CEO of Motorola, the Chief Technology Officer of another prominent technology company. You pick whatever one you want. But these are folks that want to make a difference in how the Department of Defense operates. So Victor's job is to coordinate all of those meetings, is to coordinate with all of those people who don't know how the Department of Defense works, and to make sure they can be there and be effective. We're talking folks that, lawyers that charge $10,000 an hour or $20,000 an hour. They're just making sure all this works effectively and efficiently. And he did a great job. So great that they, with a little bit of pleading and a little bit of saying, hey, I really like this, they allowed him to go join us here in Belgium for his current assignment. So I can talk a little bit more about that assignment. I think you all know about it, but I'm going to ask Lieutenant Colonel to come up and kind of talk to you a little bit about what Victor's done and present a couple of mementos as well. Come on up.
Thank you, sir. Firstly, before I go into embarrassing Victor with some stories from OEC Brussels, I do want to say a few things. I wanted to thank everyone that could make it out here today, the friends, family, colleagues, family members who could not be here physically for reasons out of our control of this year, but we're really happy that they can tune in. And it's really endearing to be able to see photos of family members and friends from all over the world out here for Victor. And so I just have a couple of stories from our days together. So when I first showed up here in Belgium about 2 years ago, Victor was, of course, at that time the changeover of people. He was the old gray beard. He was the wise one. He was Gandalf. So and I really appreciated when I asked the guy who was my predecessor in the job that I currently position I'm currently in, like about the people and the personalities in the office. And he said to me, you can always rely on Vic Osweiler. He's the kind of guy that whatever it is that he's saying, he really believes it. That's what he's thinking. It's not insidious. There's no ulterior motive. So I always appreciate that, his honesty and his frankness. But he did it in a diplomatic way. When I would do things that apparently was terribly wrong, decision that may have not been the most ideal as a deputy chief, he in his wisdom would have a very diplomatic way of actually expressing that maybe I should look at other avenues. So the one look that he does when he wants to respond to a question asked him, and I will miss this, is this pensive look, which those of you who know Vic Osweiler, you will sit there, look at the ground, but one elbow in his hand and do this. And that's what I'm talking about. And then he'll follow up with something like, but honestly, you don't have to do it that way. But it would be these hands that remind you back in grade school, when you play like flag football, just doing the goalpost. But he does do that. So for everybody who knows Vic, that's exactly it. So I really appreciate that. The second thing, coming into the job, which was
was a very critical time in 2018. And our friends here, our Belgian friends here, can attest to all this. It was a very critical time in the future of security cooperation between our two great nations. And I remember, when you're new, you don't know what you don't know. And then we got that phone call because we watched the news, and Vic goes, hey, guess what? I just got a call when the fateful decision was made. We're going to go, I got to go work for the Ministry of Defense office. You want to tag along? You remember that? I was like, okay. And we went over there, it was really surreal, and we got to meet a lot of people. And I thought to myself, this is amazing. I'm here under this job. In the first 2 months, my annual review has already been written. I could just drop the mic and walk away. But there was no mic being dropped because there was a whole lot of other work that had to be done to guarantee the success of a lot of initiatives that we've done with the Belgian allies. The people in the room back here, gentlemen, thank you for coming, because a lot of that stuff, of course, we guys have been slaving away for years for that, and to see us be able to go in a certain direction, open new doors, and continue on. It was really good to know that you guys are here to support Vic, and then Vic was also was given an opportunity to play a part in making sure decisions that will have impacts to go on to the next generation. So that was my first, I guess, job-related activity with Vic. All throughout the last 2 years, I will say this: thank you so much for all of the advice, for thinking ahead, because of your experience and your intellect, all the things that we didn't think about when it came to sort of problem sets and stuff, to be honest. He's already thinking 2 or 3 ripples away from where the pebble was dropped, so we really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I know our Matt and Amy think that too, especially with transition. With Vic is the wellspring of knowledge, and of course Matt working together for the past year. I will say this though, one other story, because I know we've got a lot of other things too, but this is actually pretty funny, because I'm looking in this group and I see all the suspects in here. And I will say this: Vic Osweiler, myself, John Hodges, Tim Dillinger, okay, and where are the states? Tracy, honestly, when we destroyed this thing that was called the disintegrator, we really were not trying to reenact our favorite scene from the movie Fargo. Okay? So, don't know what happened. Something that had such an ominous name was controlled. And apparently all of us, the 4 of us, were in there. So that is something that we'll chuckle about. I guess much to your expense, but I'm glad we can all laugh about that here. Thank you. But that's one of those things, I guess, in the office, you sit back and think and laugh, and it's like, okay. So that'll be something I will keep in my mind. That's very good. One other thing that I would like to say is, what about this? And all those late nights, of course, I've used my time, I guess, efficiently in the office, so I'm still there. For those times when we should allow Vic to stay in the office out from under adult supervision. Okay, so there's conversations in front of the TV that we inherited from the former RBG Commission. Nice flat screen TV there. They are offensively to that over here to discuss life and philosophy and everything else outstanding. I will tell you one thing that I really miss about Vic is when we had to drive out to various bases around Belgium. When I would ride with Vic, I will miss those times in which he would impose his music playlist on me in the car. So, I will miss that. Not really. Not really. And the other thing too that I will miss, because I always thought I'd have an opportunity to see this, Vic owns this very beautiful, I don't know, pastel colored, whatever, bright blue Vespa. So, and with this really cool, I think it was like helmets. I've never got a chance to actually see ride and drive on that, because I was envisioning the ride going out of the Vespa and going to take something like, ciao, bella. So I never got a chance to see that. I love the speed racer helmets. I love the Java Vespa, and that is something that is purely a big Osweiler. And that's something that I will always remember. Thank you very much for that. So in closing, I will say this. I know it makes me sad to see you guys transition, but then you guys are still here. So this is a new chapter for both of you, for Katie, for Vic. And you know that we will always welcome you with open arms. Come on by whenever you guys want to. And we'll relive old memories, and we'll get the new ones, of course, new ones ahead. Thank you very much.
All right, can you hear me again? Great. What Jack didn't mention is that playlist is spectacular, and it sounds even better when we're writing together back on the thanks, that was great. There's many stories, as there are days of the year, spectacular Osweiler. And, you know, as I walk through some of the things he's done in his career, those are serious, and those are major accomplishments. But when I think of Victor and Katie, I think of much more than that. I think of the people that they are, the friends that they are. Those accomplishments are spectacular. They don't hold the candle to the genuine people that we have here, that we're celebrating with here today. As Jack mentioned, better than I could just be Victor's way of thinking through things. And I would often tease Victor about an inability to make decisions. And I think some of that's true. But when I think back about that, I think a lot of that is because maybe he's thinking a little deeper or a little more into something than I was capable of doing. And so I appreciate that. And I think probably everybody in the audience who's worked with me over the years could say similar. And so I was deeply honored to be asked to be here today. And the opportunity to speak about a good friend and a great American officer is spectacular. I hope that this isn't in the fix, helping out the U.S. government and our allies and partners. He's a great person, a great worker, and even better, a friend and human being that will always be with you, at your side, and willing to help you with anything that you have to. So there can be no higher way. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel White. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the medal presentation. Attention orders. Citation to accompany the award with the Defense Meritorious Service Medal. To Victor P. Osweiler. Lieutenant Colonel Victor P. Osweiler distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious service as Chief, Air Force Programs and International Armaments Cooperation, Office of Defense Cooperation, Brussels, from July 2017 to July 2020. During this period, Colonel Osweiler facilitated a generational refresh of the Belgian Air Force by securing contracts for 34 F-35 fighter jets and 4 MQ-9B unmanned aerial systems, filling critical North Atlantic Alliance shortfall areas and shaping United States-Belgium security cooperation for decades to come. Additionally, he negotiated an arrangement whereby the Luxembourg government agreed to pay 80% of the operating costs of a warehouse storing United States Air Force's in Europe's war reserve materials. Colonel Osweiler deftly orchestrated space and cyber security cooperation between the two countries, creating first ever burden sharing opportunities while adding warfighting capacity. The distinctive accomplishments of Lieutenant Colonel Osweiler culminated a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Air Force, and the Department of Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the retirement portion of today's ceremony. Lieutenant Colonel Steve Whistler, joining us from an undisclosed PUI location in the United States of America, will read the retirement order.
Orders. Special order number AC-012596, effective 31 August 2020. Lieutenant Colonel Victor P. Osweiler is relieved from active duty. Office of Defense Cooperation, Brussels, retired, effective 1 September 2020, for AFI 36-3203, in the grade Lieutenant Colonel. Victor, from all your friends and family who really want to be there, but can't be there, congratulations on a successful career and best of luck. We love you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Whistler. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Colonel Whittakin will now present the retirement certificates to Lieutenant Colonel Osweiler. The certificate reads, Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that Lieutenant Colonel Victor P. Osweiler, having served faithfully and honorably, is retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of September 2020. Signed, General Dave Goldstein, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force. The certificate reads, Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States. Lieutenant Colonel Victor P. Osweiler, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of our grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. I trust that in the coming years you will maintain an active interest in the armed forces and the purpose for which you serve. Those who follow in your footsteps will draw inspiration in your commitment, dedication, and sacrifices made to ensure the protection of our American freedoms. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Commander-in-Chief. It is our tradition that a retired member of the Armed Forces presents the United States Air Force Retired Band. Lieutenant Colonel Osweiler has requested that his father-in-law, Lieutenant Colonel Harry G. Bombardi, present him in special remembrance of his stepfather, Master Sergeant Thomas W. Mitchell, the retired band, the next time they see each other. Lieutenant Colonel Osweiler joined the Air Force from the Big Sky Country, the great state of Montana. To mark this occasion, this flag of the United States of America was flown over the state capitol in Helena, Montana on 4 August 2020. The certificate reads, In honor of Lieutenant Colonel Victor P. Osweiler, in gratitude to your patriotism in the defense of our nation and your selfless service to the United States Air Force. Signed, Steve Boyd, Governor. Mrs. Osweiler, would you please come forward? Colonel Whittakin will present Mrs. Osweiler with the Air Force Certificate of Appreciation. The certificate reads, Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Air Force. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Katie L. Osweiler for their commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Signed, General Dave Goldstein, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you Lieutenant Colonel Victor P. Osweiler, retired. Ladies and gentlemen, former Lieutenant Mrs. Katie Osweiler and current First Lieutenant Chaplain Osweiler will now present the post-retirement gifts. Chaplain Osweiler, please come forward.
So I did something crazy a few years ago and joined the Air Force myself as a chaplain. And over the years, the 2 years, I've been searching for things to give my husband, who is my dependent now. And you cannot find anything in a BX anywhere that says Air Force husband. You can find Air Force wife, Air Force mom, Air Force dad, Air Force dog, Air Force cat. Actually, I don't know about the last two. So I have a friend who does graphic design, and I made Air Force husband things. I can get you the link, YouTube. So we have a magnet, a few stickers, a mug for you. This is for you. Thank you. Wear them proud. And then there is a coin that says Air Force spouse. So I give you the Air Force spouse coin. And then a retired coin that has the Air Force Memorial, which is a beautiful inside joke, which is not a joke. The memorial is very beautiful. But between us, because every time we drive around DC, we go, oh look, it's the Air Force Memorial. Every time. So now you have to memorize my Social Security number.
I think the floor is mine. I think the floor is mine. Please, guys, sit down, get comfortable, like you guys don't have to stand. First, James, I greatly appreciate your kind words, as well as your acceptance to be my retirement officiant today. I feel lucky that our careers have mirrored each other in many ways, and in the same location several times, because it's allowed us to not only become good friends, but it's allowed me to see how superb of an officer you are, a husband and a father. However, I did miss the chance to see how well you watched your Kentucky Derby. Katie and I are very happy, we're genuinely happy that you and Jess, Dave, Tessa, and Ryan have been muscles. And I look forward to spending time with you and your family, and possibly making some high-pointing trips throughout the world together. Matt, big thanks, Matt Harris, for helping organize this ceremony and for being the narrator today. You're at my retirement ceremony, Matt, also known as short-term memory. Your next radio is on me, and I'll do let you keep the stamps on your customer card. Thank you to my excellent colleagues from the ODC, from Spinelli, Jeff, and Amy, as well as the wonderful team here at All Saints Episcopal Church. Thank you for your assistance to prepare and conduct this memorable event. Master Tim Dillinger, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here. You inspire me. Deb, your kind words on behalf of the ODC office, and the gifts and the mementos that are here from you guys, very much appreciated. It was a fantastic job working in ODC Brussels. I can't imagine a better assignment to end my career working as a diplomat. You heard me, Dan Fraser. Working as a diplomat in the U.S. Embassy, advancing the international security cooperation, partnering with fantastic allies, namely the Belgian Air Component and the Defense Director of Luxembourg, and living in Europe as a representative of the United States of America. This really has been a phenomenal assignment. Okay, I'm not going to try to speak too much longer. However, I am thankful and I owe gratitude to so many people for helping me throughout my career. First, one happy note. Some of you likely noticed that I don't officially retire until 1 September. My last day of active duty is 31 August. That's a good thing because it gives me a little bit more time to finish some, nagging critical items that, were left over from my career. Pat Little, I might be able to get your help. I need to finish the research in order to justify my APIC thesis degree. Dr. Broadhead, if you're listening, I trust that you would authorize me to get some hours from Dr. Andre Walsh so that I could finalize the 2010 Chiltron D&D report. Brad Head, if you're listening, I really should update the one-page wonders for all the Air Force programs in the UNC, but you would actually have to give me a deadline. Nick Greger, I think I still have some unused military coupons for Albuquerque, so maybe you and I can find time to use those coupons. All right, no, really, I'm looking forward to being retired for many reasons. One is that I won't be subject to Air Force regulations anymore, so I can finally grow a mustache in any style that I want. It's been difficult living in my house because our cat Lincoln has fur in a color, in a way, the color on his upper lip. It's really cute, but it looks like he has a mustache. And Katie is half Italian. So I feel a bit isolated being the only one in the house with that mustache.
Oh, that's true.
She admits it. My family, I deeply miss my mom, Pixie, and my stepfather, Tom. They are here with me today, in spirit and in my heart. I believe the way I am today is owed to the way they raised me. Primarily with the way my mom nurtured me and the way that Tom guided me. Sometimes rather strictly. But the examples that Tom set as an NCO in the U.S. Air Force, and the examples that my mom set the examples that my mom set, the way she was resilient, compassionate, protective, and hardworking, were hugely influential in the way that I served my country. I stand here today proud to have served the career that I have, but I'm more proud to be their son. Okay. To my sister Nikki and my brother Justin, you are my foundation. You both have always supported me and encouraged me throughout my career, but more importantly, you have guided me and cultivated me to be a better person. And when we spend time together, regardless of where we are, I feel at home. And I love you all so much. And Sherry, my career, I feel like second parents to me. I cherish the love and the care that you have always given me my entire life. Thank you. Carol and Carl and Boomer and Martha, the support and the generosity that you have given Katie and cannot be quantified. But without a doubt, it has improved our lives, and it has helped me to do the best I can in my Air Force career. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to blow through some things. I appreciate you guys listening through this. From my gold guardians, Becky Cobb, West students, Susie Lynch, Colonel Roseanne Wilson, Tom Cottle, Mike Cavorni, and Yates, you were there in my first assignment, you mentioned that, and that was a great introduction to the Air Force. From Colorado, my housemates and friends, Mike and Sean DeBoer, thank you. From my battle Abbey days, Ed, Mel Tommy, and Colonel Jason Quigley, Dave Tighty, Dave Donahue, Dave Mulligan. Your friendship, your mentorship, your advice, and your humor during that second assignment were awesome. The African, again, Weeds was with me. We went through the same exact program at African. Pat Little, Dan Provost, and an extra special appreciation for John Casey, who told me about the ESIP program and allowed us to go to England for 2 years, and an amazing experience. The second time I was in Albuquerque, Nick Rager, who enabled me and encouraged me to do ESIP, Mel Herrera and Sam Elliott, you guys were amazing. To my favorite chaps from my favorite assignment in Southern England, Andy Ash, Matt Raleigh, Justin Henry, Owen Sweet, John Fraser, Mike Goodwin. I wish we could be together today. For my short time in Boston, thank you to George Nunio and Mike Kaplan, who supported me to volunteer for the attaché program. On my London deployment, the brotherhood that I formed there, Sean Jeffrey, Nigel Blake, Gary Colbert, Mitch Jones, Phil Carr, George Taylor, Jason Emily, Jared Colts, and I know I'm leaving out some folks, but thank you for keeping me and each other safe. All of those who were instrumental to me as an SBO dad in Niger, first time ever being an attaché, and I'm not sure how we made it through, but Pat Ruby, Ricardo Baker, Amy Slammer, Paul Moore, William Michelle, Ambassador Rick Bell, Ambassador Eunice Reddick, TJ Engelbeck, Dan Rickard, Sean Osmer, Barrett Bishop, Alex Sapowski, Michael Higgins, Gabe Chichilla. Okay, from the last job before this one in the five-sided Puzzle Palace in DC, Karen Saunders, who helped allow me or who enabled me to come to this job in UC Brussels, Mike Toes Flanagan, Terry Mershow, Jeff Novak, Dave Jefferson, and Mark Hartman, Mike Harvey, thank you. And my former OEC colleagues, Brad Head, Jim Cheney, Ken Jonah, Mark Allen, you guys made this assignment all the better. And finally, to my Belgian colleagues, whom I consider my friends, thank you for making this assignment, this experience, this professional relationship. Thank you for making it so incredible. I'm very blessed. Next, I want to pay gratitude to my dearest friends in my life, Hugh, Jack, Lizzo, Zach, Jenny, Sully, Tony, and Steve, each of you, and collectively all of you, you so positively influenced my life and my successes, my well-being and my happiness, and I love you all. Finally, to my amazing wife, Katie, I cannot thank you enough. You are awesome. I'd like to tease you that I made a mistake marrying you at my 9.5-year point in my career, because if we ever got divorced, that would mean you automatically get half of my pension, my retirement pension. The truth is that I made a mistake marrying you at my 9.5-year point because it was about 1.5 years too late. It was 2.5 years after I should have done it. You are amazing for so many reasons, but I want to mention a few that have enabled me to have this career. Your willingness to sacrifice. Not only your career, but your independence and not living near your family and friends. Your individuality and your non-conformity. Your energy. You are a self-described raging extrovert. Your principles and your morality. Your endless sense of adventure and flexibility. I am forever grateful for your support and love. I love you. Can you come up here? I have a very large set of words. Yeah, I asked for the large, and this is the small, so I don't know what to do. You don't have to actually take them if you don't want to. We hope that they don't follow the character. No, that's for you. Thank you. No, say it, okay. Okay, so I need more words, but I'm humbled. Thank you very much. We're going to see the airport.
Oh, yeah, there.
No, we're not going to sing. The airport fund is going to stay.
Thank you, Katie and Victor. Ladies and gentlemen, in appreciation for his contribution to the Air Force and his mission, the men and women of the United States Air Force are proud to have served with Lieutenant Colonel Osweiler and assure him that he will always be a valuable member of the Air Force family, even in retirement. We wish Victor and Katie every success in their future endeavors, and we invite everyone to congratulate our newest retiree in the receiving line that will form in the lobby. We stand for the playing of the Air Force song. Here we go. Hey! This concludes tonight's ceremony. To maintain our spacing, we will dismiss from the back to the front. Please wait for Lieutenant Colonel Kulik to dismiss your row before joining the receiving line. Thank you for attending.
So I don't know if this is going to work, but I am taking the Nevo so that you who are back at home can see that we tried to have you here on the seats where you weren't here. We put your pictures so that you would be here at least. Victor was looking at you during the ceremony. And we had the pictures of the various members of the family attending, oh, there's somebody upside down, attending along with those who were here in person. The pictures didn't have to be physically distant. We just wanted you to see that you were remembered visually, even though you weren't able to be here in person. Thanks for joining us for this event.